Are we live? We are live. Good evening, everybody. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Um, my name is Tremaine Wills. I am a financial planner and investment advisor. I own a company called Mind Over Money. We are on a mission to help 1 million households grow their invested assets to $1 million or more. We do that through comprehensive financial planning, providing investment advice, and teaching and promoting financial literacy, doing sessions like this. So, you are tuned into questions that need answers. This is our first night doing it in the evening. We switched from 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so if this is something that you'd like to be present for, make sure that you are following. You have the notifications turned on so that you know when I am live answering a question. If you have a question that you'd like to submit, you can send me a DM with a money related question. So these are always going to be money related questions. All right. So, one thing that I had started doing was asking where folks are tuning in from because I like to know where social media is taking the information, who I'm able to reach. And I'm already seeing, based on the numbers, that this is a much better time to stream live. Right. So, let me know in the comments. If you're watching live, tell me where you are tuning in from. And if you are catching a replay of this, let me know where you are tuning in from. So, our company is based in Hampton Roads, Virginia. And so, a lot of the clients that are served are in Virginia, but we also serve clients across the US. Okay, I see Chicago tuning in live, VA tuning in live. Thank you guys. I love Chicago. I love Chicago in the summer. I love Chicago in the summer, right? Such a beautiful city. We got some more VA folks, Portsmouth in here. It's so good to see y'all. Philadelphia. I used to live in Pennsylvania. Not in Philly, but I did spend some time there in the beginning of my financial services journey. All right, well, this is awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know where you're watching from. Before I forget, our community is called the 1 Trillion Tribe. If you'd like to join us in our Facebook community where we have accountability, weekly wins, just dropping money nuggets. And then, of course, you can watch all of the questions that need answer sessions. You can binge them all in one place. Comment tribe, or you can text tribe to 757-300-5715. You can get the link to join us for free. So if you need a community of folks who are intentional about building wealth, join us there so we can grow and get to our next level. All right, so let's dive into today's question. Today's question is, how do I create a budget and stick to it? Now, let me give you a spoiler alert. There is not about to be some magical theory that you have never heard before, right? So if you are tuning in and you're like, well, she about to tell me the secret that I didn't know the answer to, this ain't that, friend. It's not that. But I do want to give you 3 practical tips that are going to help you stay more disciplined. Because as I was trying to think about, what should I talk about? A lot of people want to hear like the deep investing stuff, and that's great. We can answer those type of questions too. But did you know that of the people that create budgets, only 27% of them stick to it? Like, a lot of us are spending time creating this budget and then we're not even sticking with it. So, I want to talk through, like, after you've done the work to identify, like, yes, I do need to have a budget. How can we make sure it's effective and that we use it and we begin to implement it? All right. So, that's what we're going to dive into today. Now, I got 3 steps for you to help you create your budget and stick with it. The first step is going to be, you need to have a realistic budget. So we can have these big, big goals, big vision, big dreams, all these things that we want to accomplish. But if the strategy that we put in place, saying that I'm going to save and invest $2,000 a month and I barely make $2,000 a month, it's going to be pretty hard to reach it. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure that our budget is actually realistic and attainable. And you've heard about SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, attainable. What's the R? I can't remember what the R is for, but time bound. So like that's the thing, right? It has to be something that we actually can achieve. So the very first piece of making sure that you can stick to your budget is having a budget that actually is realistic, right? Because sometimes we'll put together this beautiful budget, right? Color coded, it has all the works. But the reality of us being able to maintain it is slim to none. And then we teach ourselves that we are not good at budgeting and we don't want to stick with it and follow through. And so, in order to prevent setting ourselves up for failure, we need to create a budget that is actually realistic, one that we can stick with once we implement it. All right, so that's step number one. I need to create a budget that's realistic. And so, that might mean looking through my transactions to see, well, hey, what have I been spending money on? If I'm accustomed to spending $1,000 on entertainment, is it realistic to say that this next month I'm only going to spend 150 bucks? Probably not, right? So I need to be realistic when I'm creating that budget. Number two, step two in this is I need to make sure that my budget has line items of things I actually care about, right? So, of course, the internet and social media will tell you all the things that you're supposed to include, right? You need to make sure that you have money for um, retirement, like definitely for sure, right? But also include the things that you want to do, right? If travel is something that you enjoy, travel should be a line item that's in your budget. Otherwise, you're going to spend money traveling because that's what you like to do. And then you're going to wonder why you can't stick to your budget. Your budget should reflect the values that you have, the things that you care about. And so if travel is something that you care about, it should be in your budget, right? If donations are things that you care about, that should be in your budget. And so the way that we stick to the budget is we make sure it has the line items of the things that are actually important to us. Okay, so that's number two. Our budget should accurately reflect things that we value, and it shouldn't just be what the internet tells us it should be. All right, so personalize it a little bit, make it relevant to you. And then the third piece is the one we all hate. You just have to be disciplined, right? There is not somebody that's going to come in and make you budget. Now, you might be able to find an accountability partner, or you might be able to find, a financial advisor or a coach or somebody that can support you with accountability, but nobody's going to make you stick to a budget. That has to be something that you decide you're going to commit to because you want to reach the outcome that is connected to what happens when you remain disciplined and sticking with it. And that's probably the hardest piece, right? Is having the discipline to stick with it and make sure that you continue to budget, even when you don't want to. But it all goes back to making sure that our budget is in alignment with the things that we care about. Because if I care about something and I'm truly committed to whatever that outcome is, even when it is difficult or I don't want to do it or I have all these different excuses as to why I can choose to do something different, when I'm committed to the outcome, I'll stick with it, right? And the discipline piece carries over not just with our finances. It shows up in so many other areas. So when I can stay disciplined and develop a like that's a trait that I have, that I'm a disciplined person, I do what I say I'll do, it'll be so much easier to reach a lot of the different goals that we have. All right. So the way that we create a budget and stick to it, the first piece is it needs to be realistic, right? It has to make sense for what my income and expenses are. The second piece is I have to have line items on that budget I actually care about. I can't just say, oh, I'm going to save and invest, some arbitrary number, $1,500 a month, and there's no outcome, any desire that is going to push me in that direction to get to it. If I am saving and investing $1,500 a month, why am I doing it? Is it something I actually care about beyond just because I'm supposed to? And then the third piece is you got to be disciplined, right? I have to be willing to make the sacrifices and stick with it because I said I was going to do it. And so sometimes we're looking for the cheat code and the magic bullet and just something that is going to make it easier. When at the end of the day, the answer really just is a lot of us lack discipline. And that's why we don't reach the goals that we have, because we don't do what we say we're going to do. All right. So those are the three things to help you create your budget and stick with it. If you don't have a budget and you are looking for a community to help you with accountability, getting around other folks who are intentional about building their wealth, growing their finances, I want to invite you to join our free community, the 1 Trillion Tribe. We're on a mission to help 1 million people grow their invested assets to $1 million or more. You can comment tribe, or you can text tribe to 757-300-5715. All right. So this was questions that need answers. I think I like it at 6:30 in the evening better than 8 a.m. So you will see me tomorrow for our next question that needs answer. If you know somebody who should be budgeting, that's having a hard time, feel free to send this to them. And I will see you all tomorrow.